Hello, welcome to the channel and welcome back to Resurwreck Autos HQ. Today guys, we're going to be continuing with this Fiesta and I've made a few decisions on that car, so I'm trying to talk through that with you in a second. Before we do, I hope you all had a good weekend. It was really nice over in the UK and where I am anyway, you never know. But yeah, weather was nice, it was good, it was chilled and yeah, all that good stuff. So a fresh week and yeah, a pretty much exciting week for us as well, because if things work out the way I want them to work out, then this week is going to be exciting because I'm going to be hopefully getting a lift put in the workshop this week. I know I've been saying it for a little while now, but things have to work out and good things only comes to those who wait. Yeah? And I've waited a little while now. So, but like I said, fingers crossed, everything works out and we should be able to get a lift in here this week. Obviously looking at other cars as well. This is the last project, this Fiesta. And I want to see if I can get some more projects in and some more cars for the channel and for the workshop and you guys. So, yeah, there we go. Right, let's do this. So guys, yeah, we're going to be working on this today. We're going to carry on just tearing it down and getting some bits and pieces done on it around the car. I made a decision on the timing belt. I'm going to do it, to be fair. So I'm going to do the timing belt, water pump, auxiliary belt, cam cover gasket, and yeah, a good service, air filter, cabin filter. I've already done the oil filter, which is down there, new one. That's done, and I've done the oil as well. I put new oil in as well, so that's done as well. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I made a decision. I'm gonna go for it. I might as well, like, you know what I mean. It's for what it is. It's not really, and it's peace of mind for me. Once the car goes to a new owner, it's peace of mind for me and the new owner that it's done, and they're not gonna have problems with that. That's one problem or one issue they might, you know, they could have had down the line, but now, no way. So that's good. That'll be all done. Where we left off before was the actual dash was sort of, wasn't quite out, was it? Couldn't get it out, I was struggling. And it was because of that gear lever mechanism part down there. So what I did was undone the 4 bolts. There's only literally 4 bolts holding it down. So there's one there, one there, one there, and then one the other side. And this just flops over. I think I put the gear shifter down, and then I put it over. That gave me enough room to slide the actual dash out. But putting the new one in, I've got to put a new screen in. So I'm going to pull that screen, and then the new one I'll put through the windscreen, and then put it in that way. But for the minute, I'm going to leave that. I have to leave that because I haven't got enough wire. So I use this wire, this stuff here. It's like a serrated wire that I use, and I've run out of this. I haven't got enough to pull it. I've probably got enough to do a little bit more, but not enough to do the long pieces on the bottom, what I need. So I'll have a go with what I've got, the pieces, and see how much I can get to, but I think it's just worth leaving it until I get the new stuff. And then yeah, there's something else to do, but let's crack on, guys. I'll set you up. Let's just start tearing this apart, tearing this down, and I'll show you exactly what I'm doing. So let's do this. Okay guys, just want to quickly stop and explain where I am with this. So that's the cam cover off, and it's down there, and we'll place the gasket on that, and you can see the belt through there, and it does look like it's got lines on top. I'll show you that when the cover goes off, so we'll leave that for the minute. But now we can get to the back of the plate, which is what this tool is for. It goes on the back and holds the holds the two cams in place. That does there. So that's that ready. I've taken off. I've loosened the actual alternator at the top there. You can see that there's two bolts that sit at the top, and the auxiliary belt goes around that and goes around the water pump pulley there. But what I do is I take the two bolts at the top off and leave the one at the bottom, and that one at the bottom acts as a pivot like this, so that when you take the bolts off, it comes out and unloosens the auxiliary belt. So when you put it back, you put the belt on, and then you push up on the alternator, put the bolts in place, and then that's stretched on the bolt where it is, but leave that bottom one in as a pivot at the bottom. Leave that bottom bolt in. That's what I do. But before I did that, before I took the belt off, I unloosened the 4 bolts on this water pump pulley, because whilst the belt is on and it's tight enough to undo the bolts, and then you can later on you can just take this off. Once we jack the engine up and down, we can pull the pulley away from the water pump. So that's that. The other thing as well is that we are in here where the starter motor sits and the flywheel. And let me just get you under there so you can see in there. So guys, right, so that's where the flywheel is, in there where the starter motor normally sits. So what you've got to do is there's another tool that you can use. You don't have to use all these tools, but I like to use all of them, because that way you're minimising the risk of it being out of time. So yeah, if you use all the areas that's provided in this toolkit I've got, it's better off. So that's what I do. So I'll show you that little slider thing. So this is it here, and then that sort of goes in, and then that pin there, that little plate, that locks against the flywheel on the teeth of the flywheel, that one there, and then you slide it up and down and you lock it in place. Yeah, to get it locked so that ain't gonna move. And then we've got a pin on the back of the engine here, which sits on the back. We'll take that out in a minute and put that in, and then we'll get it timed top dead center, the engine top dead center, and then we can remove the engine mount, and then we can start sort of putting a jack underneath. But I'll crack on, guys. I'll show you what I'm doing, and then we'll go from there. So let's do this. Right, okay guys, again, just a quick update, quick recap of what's happened. Yeah, so as you can see, the cover's off now, and then you can see that they're obviously through. It's not that bad, I've seen them worse than this, but you can see the lines that are coming through the belt all the way around. So yeah, you know what I mean, it's like I said, I've seen worse, but it's changing. It's definitely worth changing it. So yeah, there we go. We are all timed and lined up. So I've took this first cylinder spark plug out to get top dead center. This is how I do it, guys. Put a screwdriver down and then keep turning the actual engine over by hand until there's 2 points where it goes, the screwdriver will be high. 1 point, which means you can get this in, and then the other point where it'll be high, where you can't get this in. So obviously you need to keep turning it until you can get this in, this plate to both cams there and there, locked in place, and then you know that that is top dead center. The other thing that I do as well is let me get the torch, and then in there you'll see. Let me see if I can get you in there. So you see that black plate there? That is now holding the flywheel locked in place, and the flywheel will not move now. So when you do the bolt for the crank bolt at the bottom there, when you undo that one, the engine will not move and spin because that's been locked in place. The cams have been locked in place, and there's a pin on the back of the engine as well that's been locked in place. So yeah, I think I'm ready to take this belt off and let's get this water pump out as well. There, yeah, you can see that it's slightly coming. See that the pink at the back there? You see all that pink stuff at the back? So that's the coolant that's leaking, slightly leaking from somewhere. So I've got to try and if I can find it. Sorry guys, as I was just saying, I had to stop there because yeah, I had someone come in asking to borrow a tool, which is all good. Yeah, we lend each other bits and pieces around here and sort of help each other out. So yeah, someone just come in. But yeah, going back to this sort of, yeah, this pink, you can see it, it's all around the back there and it's all around there. That's obviously coolant that's been leaking from somewhere. Now, you've got water pump here and you've got thermostat here. And it can only really be leaking from one of these two because above that sits the alternator. So it can't nothing to do with that. So it has to have something to do with one of these two. Now, I think if it was the water pump, you'd see it between here, this gap, because that's the split. Water pump here, block here, so you'd see it. And I can't really see it coming out of here, this gap here, so I'm assuming it's coming from that thermostat here. So I think the best thing to do is, whilst we're in this position where I can get to this easy, I'm going to have a look, take this off, this thermostat, and we're going to have a look at this as well. I don't like dealing with thermostats because once you, because obviously they're hot, these get hot, and over time the gasket, I might have to change the gasket. I might put some gasket sealer around that I've got. I'm not sure if that's going to hold it. It probably won't. It probably just need changing. So I think get this off as well. We'll have a look at this, and yeah, this thermostat gasket might need a change. So there we go. I want to do that as well, guys. And yeah, the belt's ready to come off. So all we do is really, you've got the tensioner here. So what I normally do is just undo that bolt there, which is the tensioner bolt, and then that tensioner will come away. That will loosen the actual belt, and then the belt will come away, and then the water pump can be taken away as well. And then we can go the lower crank pulley, yeah. So crank bolt, yeah. So let's crack on, guys. Let's get this belt off, and then yeah, we'll have a look at it. I'll get this thermostat off as well. We'll have a look at that, yeah. So let's do this. Right, okay guys, another quick update. So water pump is off and thermostat is off. So it looks like it was definitely coming from his thermostat. You can see it leaking there possibly. And the actual housing, you can see that this is a rubber gasket here. Well, you can't, I don't know if you can see that, but it's more or less flush with the housing. This rubber, more or less flush. So there ain't no, there ain't no sort of squashing when it comes to the actual gasket against the actual block. So I think it's coming through there somewhere, leaking. So I think it's just worth getting another one of these, and yeah, hopefully that'll be it. I think I have to get a new thermostat as well, because on the thermostat you've got this rubber, and that obviously rubber seals against that as well. Probably going to use some sort of gasket sealer, maybe around the housing. I might just put it around this housing. I'm sure it'll only help. It can't harm it at all. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to put some sealant around that. Sometimes these little metal things here, they this plastic sort of because it gets hot. This is going to get really hot. It kind of squashes it, and it goes under where the metal clips are, if it makes sense, and then that creates a gap between, because the metal see the little metal pieces in here, little metal pieces, they're not going to shrink and they're not going to move or change, but this plastic will, because of the heat, it will start taking it away. So sometimes that does it. I'll have a look. I'll have to see what I can find. But they're not massive amount of money. Do you know what I mean? It's definitely worth doing, and it's definitely worth. I can show the new owner that this has been one more thing that's been done on this car. So yeah, which is fantastic. So they ain't got to worry about it. So there we go. I've actually took the crank bolt off as well. Crank pulley bolt. You can see it there. Well, it was there. It's that there, and it's a size of that, 18 mil bolt, and I just pulled that out with my impact gun. This pulley, I don't think it's going to come out, but I did manage to get myself a new pulley release tool, and yeah, you just basically put it around it, and then you do that up there. Do that up, and it pulls the pulley out. I thought for me to get, like, because obviously I've got one of these kits now. This is the timing kit that I've got for the Fiestas, and this is the pulley that pulls the actual pulley off tool. So I'm getting these tools together so I can sort of angle around, because this is exactly what I borrow off the guy at the end, mechanic. So I've got to get my own stuff, guys, and I really. Next thing I want to get is a vice and a bench grinder, just bits and pieces, like I said to you before in the past. Like, it's just, Rome weren't built in a day, and you got to sort of build it up and sort of let things build up, and that's what I'm doing. I'm gradually getting more and more tools, more and more bits and pieces, and to do the jobs. So yeah, but like, I do quite a lot of these. I do quite a lot of timing belts now on Fiestas. I've never done one before, like literally never done them till I started doing these ones. So I'm getting quite good at them now. I know what to take off, I know what to leave on, I know what needs to come off to get that off, and do you know what I mean? So it's a process, and it's like anything, you do more of it, it becomes an easier job. So yeah, that's what's happening. But I'm gonna get this pulley off now at the bottom here. I'm going to set you up. I'm going to get this pulley off, and then that'll be the whole strip down ready for the install. So yeah, I'll set you up, guys, and let's do this. Right, so there we go. That is off. You just saw me do that. There was like a cover that went at the bottom, just an 8mm bolt at the bottom holding the cover on, and then obviously once you took the cover off, the belt come off. So that was it. Yeah. And as you can see, it's all done. It's all out. It's all ready. Water pump is out. Thermostat. I'm going to get a new rubber gasket for that water pump, definitely, and then maybe put some gasket sealer around this bit here as well, just to help it a little bit more. But yeah, all the other parts all the old parts are down here. You can see got to do the cam cover gasket. We'll change that over for a new one. They're the old belts, old water pump, and yeah, all the new stuff's over here. So it's just a case of just doing the reverse of what we just did. Timing belt kit, so that's the timing belt and the actual tensioner are in there. Auxiliary belt, water pumps in there, cam cover gasket is that, and the filters. And I just need to get the rubber gasket for that housing, for that thermostat housing there. I'll probably get that from Euros tomorrow morning. So that is going to be the end of today's video. This is part 1 of this whole process, and then I'll do a part 2, me putting it back together, because a lot of people are interested in doing timing belts and the way it's done and the process of taking them off and refitting them. So it's good to show a step-by-step process of this, guys. I know a lot of you, my followers and my subscribers, see me do this loads of times, but there's a lot of people out there that are still interested in searching for these kind of videos and watching how it's been done. So I tried to show as much as I could. Like I said, this is part 1. There's going to be part 2. I'm putting it back together. So that's going to be the end of today's video. Really appreciate everyone's support. Don't forget to drop me a comment. Don't forget to give the videos a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. There's going to be loads of videos coming up. I always post every week, three times a week. I'll try and get them out. And yeah, I really appreciate everyone's support. So see you guys on the next one.